But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where, all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. The fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband, and it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old, I am a mom of 3, and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself, or you don't love me for who I am, isn't really fair because I don't know who I am. I'm figuring that out every day.
I've seen a million of you. You see what he's saying, ladies? You're easily replaceable. You are. But you are, though. To me, tell me why you're not. Legitimately tell me why you're not. She said it like that's a bad thing. No, it's reality. Look at most women. What do they bring to the table? Nothing. Their vagina. What else? Good conversation? Probably not. Are they bringing money to the table? Probably not. Are they doing something that you could say, oh man, without her, my life would be Probably not. So what does she bring to the table that makes her not replaceable? Nothing. What, she mad that I said it? Now let's ask about me. Am I replaceable to a woman? Maybe. How many people can you find to do what I'm going to do for a woman? And that's nothing even material. I am a coach. I am a life coach. I will teach you how to do this. I will keep you safe mentally. I will build you up mind, body, and soul. I will give you the right books. I will critique you in the right ways. I will show you where you're slipping. I will build you up. And when you're just being around me,
anyone is replaceable. Don't cling to the illusion of being unforgettable. As a human, you should be valuable. Try as much as possible to be valuable to people, not because you are afraid of being replaced, but because you love from a healthy place. Also have this understanding that being replaced does not reduce your worth. It only means that your chapter in that person's life has closed. Relationships are roles, not identities. A girlfriend, a husband, a wife, or a partner is a role, not a permanent identity. Once that role is no longer fulfilled, someone else can step in. This explains why people marry 4 times, 3 times. Each new person fits a need for the new season. Also bear in mind that people grow, people evolve, their needs and standards change over time. You might be perfect for who they used to be before, but not who they have become over time. Someone might love you for how ambitious you are, for your ambition, but now they don't want that anymore. All they want is peace. Someone else might love the fact that you are independent, but now all they want is closeness. Always bear in mind that function replaces feelings. In many relationships, what people need is function, support, financial help, companionship, intimacy, validation. If someone else starts meeting that function, their original attachment with you might dissolve. If you were their emotional support system, they might find a therapist, a friend, or a new lawyer that plays that role. Memory is selective. Over time, people romanticize the good and forget the bad, vice versa. For example, if a relationship breaks up and someone leaves, the both parties involved in that relationship will eventually remember the peace they gained more than the chaos they left in the relationship. So even if both parties think they were amazing in that relationship, their brain will start highlighting the relief of each other's absence if that relationship was chaotic and draining. So bear it in mind that there is always another option. As long as there are over 7 billion people on this planet, there's always a chance that someone else may match your trait or even exceed your trait. That person may not be in the exact same way as you were in that relationship or as you were to your partner. Just bear in mind that people move on and everyone is replaceable. People heal and fall in love again.
Considerate women are naive, and it's because y'all really believe you can appeal to the best in some people, but y'all really don't want to accept the fact that some people are just pieces of shit. They will never be any better than what they are. They're bad people. Get out of there, love. Considerate, good women, really nice women that'll give you the shirt off their back and do anything for you. If you have a need, they will try to provide it in any way, shape, or form. Those type of women don't know how to protect themselves. And I say y'all are naive out of love, but also out of accountability, because you knew that man ain't had no job. You knew he ain't had no place to stay. You knew for a fact he ain't had no money. Ain't nobody tell you to co-sign for that car. Ain't nobody tell you to give him no bread. Ain't nobody tell you to fill out that job application form. The problem with considerate women is they go where they're most needed, not where they're most respected. You were completely drained after dealing with that man because you were pouring into an empty vessel. Because the truth of the matter is, for some reason, a considerate woman always ends up with an inconsiderate man. His brother can barely take care of himself, so you all of a sudden fulfill the role of Mother Goose and think you're doing the right thing. You're not Jesus. Stop trying to save him. And I know this gotta be true, because all of y'all that say you're considerate said you stopped because you dealt with so many or this one really inconsiderate man. You can love a man without becoming a martyr. Learn the difference between being considerate and being a crutch.
Let's read some comments. The patriarchy programmed women to be considerate from young. That's why most are conditioned that way. I agree. Well, I didn't know you were going to come at me like that. But okay, you're right. That used to be me. Now I see people for who they are really. No longer considerate. Now I'm mean. I have a man say, how do I know you're the woman for me if you're not there for me at my lowest financially? Or God said women is the man's helper. Men use this kind of talk to get to women, make women do things they initially never wanted to do. This is a manipulative talk. A woman is a man's helpmate. A woman is supposed to be there for a man. Why does it have to be a woman doing things for a man? What is the man doing for that woman? If you know that you are financially low, you are broke, you have no business dating, what is the point of getting into a relationship? You deciding to get into a relationship in that your low financial state obviously means you're trying to leech off someone else. Your plan is to use someone else and get out of that rut, that fix. So being broke means you should be by yourself, find a way to fix your problem, your financial problem. It means you're supposed to be single and focus on finding a way out rather than looking for someone to use. So stay away from broke men. Broke men have no business dating. Broke women equally have no business dating. You should focus on building yourself rather than being out there looking for someone to use. People often say don't date people that are in survivor mode, because in that state it's difficult for you to tell who they truly are. Never trust the loyalty of a poor man, because when that man leaves that state, he might never be that person. Desperation might be what is pushing him to be as loyal as he is to you. Give him money, give him freedom, give him financial freedom. Do you think that man is still going to be as loyal as he is to you compared to him having financial freedom? So people that are broke, men that are broke, women that are broke are desperate. They are willing to lick your feet to get what they want. And for those ladies that are more than willing to be pygmies, just have this at the back of your mind that men and women are conditioned differently. Women are conditioned to be there for men, to be agreeable, to be considerate. Men are conditioned to be users, to use women. So it's like a bread and butter kind of blend. So if you've decided to be considerate, just bear it in mind that you definitely find a man that is willing to use you. And don't think you being considerate means that that man is going to appreciate that. No, he will even be seeing you as a fool, as a stupid person, but he wouldn't tell you. Just wait till when he gets his money, finds his fate. Wait to see if he's going to treat you better or he's going to dump you. This does not apply to all men, but it's very common out there.
Inconsiderate men are bad boyfriends, bad husbands, and bad fathers. Yet somehow they end up getting with so many women. They are never without a woman, and I don't understand how. They're the easiest thing in the world to spot. I don't know how they're so successful with women. Look, when a man likes you and he got it to give, he's gonna give. You can't tell him you got a need. A need? Baby, it's on the way already. If he hasn't offered to fill your gas tank up within the first 60 days, I'm telling you, he's inconsiderate. That's one of the easiest things in the world you can do. Fellas, hey, you can say what you want to say. Men that are considerate will make their space more and more comfortable for you the more you're around them. If he notices you like wrapping up in blankets, it's gonna be like 2 or 3 more throws on the couch when you come through. Considerate men make sure you eat and drink water too, because a lot of y'all don't. And a lot of y'all feed yourselves like hostages. Stop. eat food, eat a meal. But one of the telltale signs is that he always needs something, and he asks for something that takes a lot of audacity to ask for. He technically begging, but he being entitled about the shit. And before y'all dudes get in my comments talking about he pandering, look, I done been the boy bestie, I done been the side dude. Some of y'all act real different when y'all feel like a man ain't in the room and ain't listening in to what you say or what you done put on text messages. A lot of men out here beg and live off of women way more than they say they do. Ladies, an inconsiderate man is a different breed. So if you want to avoid them, all you got to do is pay attention.
They are very successful because they are playing into the emotional part of women. Some women out there have this savior complex, savior mentality. Oh, I'm going to save him. I'm going to rescue him. And they say women are nurturers. I believe everyone can be a nurturer, but they say women are nurturers. So imagine a woman that is now a mother seeing a grown man in need. Some of them would think it is their responsibility to rescue that man. And when it comes to money, some people feel some certain type of way. They don't want to discuss money. They don't even want to talk about it in any way. But they're more than happy spending their own money they don't even have, on someone with the mindset of I'm trying to help this person and I shouldn't discuss the help because I'm rendering help. Inconsiderate men are very entitled. They feel like because you're helping them, they deserve it. You should keep helping them. They don't think they are a burden to you. Some of them don't even think you're doing them a huge favor. So not because you're a woman and you're emotional, you can tap into the emotional part of you, means that you should let people use you. Learn to set boundaries. Learn to say no. Learn to carry your own cross. Let the man carry his own cross. Relationship is not a charity organization. It's not a poverty alleviation program. Relationship is meant to be about two people meeting each other halfway. If you can't meet halfway, if you're willing to bend a little bit, maybe 45-55. Not you bringing 100%, the person is bringing 0. From the get-go, you're already getting into a drainage situation. You're going to be drained and used. And then after jumping into that situation, you start complaining. Why are you complaining? What were you expecting? For a miracle to happen? You were expecting a miracle to happen? And I think one of the reasons why some women are happy being with men that are inconsiderate, men that they are the ones uplifting, it could be because they feel like they don't stand a chance finding a good man. It could be because the good looking men they wanted didn't want them, treated them badly. So the man that accepted them was actually in their head doing them a favor. It all boils down to low confidence, low self-esteem, lack of standards. You don't know who you are, not knowing your worth, the fear of being alone. There's a whole lot of reason why women fall into this trap. Let's have a look at the next video coming up. The very first video clip I played was about anyone being replaceable. This last video coming up explains that you can be very good to someone, you can have an amazing husband, but that man might not be fulfilling some certain type of needs you want in that relationship. Let's have a look at this video.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason, that is the reason why I have not left, okay? Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always have been are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3. And I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself or you don't love me for who I am isn't really fair because I don't know who I am. I'm figuring that out every day. But the reason why I wanted to share this on here in the first place is we are coming up on our 10-year anniversary. We're going to Mexico, to Cabo, for our 10-year anniversary trip. And we're rewriting our vows. We never wrote vows in the first place. We didn't have vows when we got married. And I'm struggling to write my vows, like to write a vow. And I think that's because I still feel very unsure in our relationship. The one thing that we finally talked about this past week together, because it's just been something that since we kind of talked about it and I brought it up and we committed to change and we committed to working on our relationship. I started my own business. He quit his job. Roles have changed. Life has been crazy. And we just haven't come back to talking about this subject. And I brought it up again because I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you, like writing these vows is hard. I don't feel like we're any closer. I don't feel like anything has really changed since I brought this up 6 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever. And I want to work on our relationship. Like at the end of the day, of course, I could get a divorce and try to go find the love that I'm craving with somebody else. But that's going to come with its own hardships, its own complications, and ones that I'm not willing to take on, right? I love Ryan. He is the best father, okay? I just need to learn how to explain what I need from him in our relationship, and he needs to be able to give that, and I need to be doing the same for him so that we can both, like, in 10 years from now, in the next 10 years, look back and say, like, we put in the work and we finally have the marriage and the relationship that we have always wanted, and that is what I want. I guess the reason why I'm coming on here, and if you've made it this long, that's really nice. What have you done in your relationship to get to that point? If you have been in a place where we are and have worked through it and have found things that have brought you closer or that have given you that relationship, like I'm just, I guess, asking for advice. Like, what have you done in order to get there and what has worked for you? We're honestly willing to try anything. We have done therapy and counseling before. And it was fine, honestly. It wasn't like my favorite thing, but I'm willing to try that again. And I don't know, books, podcasts, like what have you guys done that has worked for you to get your marriage to where you want it to be? I just don't like thinking, okay, we've been married for 10 years and we've kind of like been at this same point the whole time. I just don't want to look back 10 years from now and not have tried my best to have this like relationship that we both want and that we deserve and that our kids deserve to see in us. So I'm kind of being vulnerable and posting this on here, but I would just like to know, like, what has worked for you and what advice, I guess, you would have for me. Thanks.
Let's see how people are reacting to what she said in the comment section. I think I should focus on how men are reacting. This one said, so it's true, a man will sacrifice his happiness for his family, but a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. Why should you stay in a relationship that is not making you happy? Life is too short for you to find yourself stuck in a relationship that brings sadness to you. The internet has given so many people fairy tale expectations. These comments are awful. Stay true to yourself. Your gut knows your true path. Sweetheart, she already has someone in mind to replace her husband. I don't think women function this way. Men are the ones that can't break up and stay by themselves. They often break up and hop on to the next woman, or before they break up, they already have someone else waiting for them. Your story is my story. Then, 20 years ago, it turned out I was just bored and immature. Worst mistake of my life, divorcing a good man. So she divorced a good man and she's regretting it. Let's see what people said. Someone replied saying, same, I have stayed and now I'm miserable. Okay, this person divorced a good man and she thinks she's regretting it. This one said she stayed and she's miserable. This lady that shared her story, she said she's 32 and they will be celebrating their 10 years anniversary. That means she got married when she was 22. We've spoken about this a lot on this channel, that when you get married early, you often don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. At that point in time, you would think this man is the best person for me. This man is the best person I want. Marriage is the best thing for me. You don't know who you are. You've not explored life. You've not met as many people as possible, or you don't even need to meet many people, but you've not experienced life to the point that you know who you are and what you want and how you would love to live your life. This story that she said is not new. It's very common with women that got married early. Not just with women, also men. And what is more common is this: once they hit 30, they get to mid 30 and early 40s, they start divorcing. They are tired. They don't want it anymore. This is not what I wanted. I had to do it because I felt this was what I wanted. So it's important for you to know who you want. Learn to make yourself happy. Don't get into a relationship or get married with the hopes of that man giving you happiness. No, you will end up being miserable. You need to learn yourself as a person. Understand who you are, what triggers you, what makes you happy, before thinking of letting someone else into your space. This one said, it sounds like you're in a good relationship but feeling lost in yourself, and that can make it hard to fully connect. If you don't know who you are, it's easy to project this disconnection onto your partner. But don't give up on something good. Prioritize intentional time together, like date nights, kid-free getaways, even just a night in a hotel. And don't settle for a therapist who doesn't help you both understand each other. You're allowed to grow and rediscover who you are. Just don't leave a good man behind in the process. I'm sure there is more to the story, but that's what I got out of the video. And she replied saying, I think you're right, and I agree. We definitely need to prioritize time together and finding a good therapist. Thank you for the advice. What do I think about this advice? I don't think they need to do things together. I would say she should not leave that good man, but she needs to focus more on finding who she is. That is where the problem lies. What she wants. She should learn to do things solo. Go on solo trip. Travel. Make friends. Learn to live life outside your relationship. You should make female friends, be it single friends or married friends. You should have things doing it as a group, as friends. She should try to live her life outside of that relationship, but still have that relationship. This is what I think, because she prioritizing doing things together with a man is making things worse. She's trying to discover who she is, not who she is with the man. I don't know if I'm making sense. This one said, to be honest, it sounds like you're struggling with yourself, not your husband. I feel like it happens to a lot of women that get married and have children young. I just said that. If you found a good man, hold on to him because they are super hard to find. You're a wife. You're a mother of three. That's who you are. Oh my God. This is coming from a man. That is not who she is. It's your obligation to work on what's missing, not cut and run. Don't be the one who broke her family chasing something that you don't know if it exists. The love you're craving is in your home with your family. Don't let the word of friends tell you different. Counseling is always not so great for the one being told what they don't want to hear. This is a horrible advice. Saying you're a mother of three, that's who you are. That is a wrong statement. She has a life. She is an individual. You cannot limit who she is to being a mother. Please don't listen to such an advice. Like I said, this woman needs to be by herself and discover who she is, rediscover. She needs self-discovery or self-rediscovery, whichever one it is. The problem is because she did not have that experience as a young lady. She got married too early. She did not have that experience to explore life on her own terms, figure out what she wants, what she doesn't like, what makes her happy, who she is. She was forced to live life with someone else. So her life became about her and her husband, not about her as an individual. So she needs to detach. When I say detach, I'm not saying detach from the man. No, she needs to separate being married and being an individual. She needs to learn to do things alone for herself and also do things for the marriage when that time comes. That way, she can learn how to discover who she is. She should hang out alone, not with her husband, make new friends, travel if she can afford it, and all that. It doesn't have to be with her husband, because always doing things with her husband will not solve the problem. Please let me know what you think about this in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.